Alright, indeed. Let's see. Are we going?
This is our intro monologue with musical guest Fozzie.
Oh, we actually I
And
looked into a Fozzy meet and greet at an upcoming concert. It's $200 to meet Fozzy.
yeah, okay.
I don't think that's terrible, but it's also not what I wanted to hear. So let me
I
put
think
this up.
150 would be generous, but
I'd say probably
200. I don't even know who the other bands are, or the other bandmates are.
I guess it's kind of that's the thing is it's uh Jericho itself is like
Yeah.
worth 100. Um
I would actually love this. Chris Jericho hosting SNL and Fozzie's the musical guest. It would actually
yeah.
be cool.
I doubt that'll
They could
happen.
do it.
It won't happen in this day and age.
Yeah, considering it's NBC, and there's
Mm-hmm.
another sports entertainment show that I don't think they'd be pleased.
Exactly. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined on the other end of the tin can string by EZ this week.
Hey yo,
Hey, yo, indeed. And we're going to have a quick episode, or as quick as we could make it, this week because, well, I got to be in bed somewhat early because we are heading to Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis. We will be back home again in Indiana.
haha. I'll be in
And
Indianapolis next month
yeah, that'll be
for
fun.
the 500. Yeah.
Oh, I looked up Dynamite
Well,
rating just to show you like just how stupid
uh-oh.
things are. I just typed in AEW Dynamite and SB Nation. The first thing that comes up is like AEW falls short of 1 million viewers yet again. So yeah. Um,
Okay.
yeah, like so you just gotta love you know.
Well, it's just better SB Nation than Barstool.
Yeah, it's kinda you gotta love how things are, here on the old interwebs.
What's the T-shirt we got today?
The Adventures of Kenny and Coda.
Mm. Actually, that's funny. I'm wearing a Kenny shirt. I miss you, Kenny.
I
I miss
ironically
you very much.
I ironically don't. Like I don't like not happy he's gone, but like other than Hangman Page, the original Elite, like Cody's already gone, and like if Kenny and the Bucks were to like go away, like I don't want them to, but like if they were, like it wouldn't bother me none, which is weird.
Well, if they took like a mini leave, they'd still be like behind the scenes, but they wouldn't like
Yeah,
wrestle as much.
if they never like, I'm not saying I want them to wrestle again, but I'm also saying like I'm not fiending for Kenny Omega or to come back. I'd rather him just get healthy. But all right.
In here. Oh,
So, if you've never seen the show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show.
we have
I'm
another
at.
voice.
We
We got
do?
Nick.
Nick's here?
We have a Nick.
Okay.
What's up?
Nick.
We have a Nick.
All right.
I wonder why he heard a doo-doo.
Brock Lesnaring his way into into all this. I look very choppy on this. I hope I look all right. If someone give me some feedback.
If I turned on my volume, I would get an echoey effect.
Yeah. So, never seen this show before. This is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm at Easy at All In. I went to school with Nick. We love wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love sharing our love of pro wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, our opinions are that of any normal fan because we're just fans. We avoid insider terms. At the end of the day, we're not insiders. We're just a bunch of marks. We're the type of thing that Bully Ray does not like and does not think that we should even be talking about the wrestlings and all that good stuff.
Because we don't get the business.
Yeah, we should just sit back and enjoy. Sit back, do what we told, and just be fans. Be fans and don't.
Hey, Ray, how's your ECW royalties going?
I'm pretty sure
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure he gets plenty of WWE like royalties from lots of stuff. But any hoozles. Um, I mean, he's doing better than the three of us right now. I guarantee you that. But we're not here to talk about him. We are here to talk about Dynamite because it's going to be a short episode this week. I guess one quick thing to talk about is the Cody and the Miz segment on Raw was very good. It was very good, and I wouldn't expect anything less from those two. So, kudos to the both of them. Um, so yeah, thought I'd mention that, and thought before we get into this, Juice Robinson seems to be quitting wrestling. For all intents and purposes, he says he doesn't have a desire to wrestle anymore, and yeah, I think that kind of sucks because I think that he was probably the best Gaijin wrestler that New Japan had. I think that the pandemic and him not being able to go to Japan hurt him a lot, but also the fact that they really sunk their eggs into a different Gaijin's basket, which we're not going to talk about that. But
Has
yeah,
he been wrestling for New Japan?
what's that?
Has he been wrestling for New Japan, or has he been on Strong? I haven't
The
been keeping
United
up with
Strong. He's been on
Yeah.
yeah.
New Japan Strong.
Yeah. He's been there.
He says he could be a really great house husband. Okay, you know what? He wants to be a family man. All right.
Yeah, good for him. It still just kind of sucks because like this is a
Yeah.
guy. This is a guy that says that that I felt like could have everything we're getting from like Jay White and Will Ospreay right now we could get from Juice Robinson too, and I think he's more charismatic than the both of them.
I think he maybe just take like a break for about a year or two, and then who knows? Maybe he might get the urge to come back again, but we'll see. Hard to say. But if he truly does want to, move on with life and do his own thing, good on you, man.
He also canceled on the convention tomorrow, which made me a little sad because now I'm never going to get to meet Juice Robinson. And his fiance.
Is Tony going to be there?
She was, and then she canceled as well. But she canceled because of AEW commitments. Lots of AEW people were forced to cancel, and that's kind of disappointing me about AEW. Like, I get it, but it's kind of one of those. You can tell that AEW is becoming significantly more of a. It's becoming more corporate. It's becoming more. No, don't take these. They're not forbidding the third-party bookings like WWE, but you can tell they're getting a little bit more in the, hey, no, you're not taking a booking with that Comic-Con. You're not going. You're not
so is Tony on the show tomorrow night then?
I guess.
I mean, I'm looking at who you're getting. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm actually low-key jealous.
Yeah, the
say hi to the beautiful people for me.
I'm probably not going to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably not going to meet them. Like I said off camera, I'm probably going to meet somebody who I may not have a whole hell of a lot of good things to say about tonight. So, let's light the fuse and bring the boom. CM Punk versus Penta Oscuro. I enjoyed this match. I think I didn't like it as much as other people did. I think it was probably the third best match on the show. That's not me saying
good match,
and that's not me saying that it's a bad match. It's just me saying I think there are two matches that were significantly better than this match. What say you guys?
I enjoyed it. It's just one of those things where like you just gotta watch this because there's just really good chemistry that you saw out of Penta, whatever he was going for his dark theme against Punk. Like it was amazing, and it almost looked like Penta was actually going to win this. Like, whoa! Like I was actually low-key almost thinking he was gonna win this.
I really wanted. I understand why he didn't.
I know you would.
Oh, bye. I get like you can't. They're fixing to have Punk versus Hangman or Cole here pretty shortly. You can't have Pentagon win. Sorry, that's just not how things work. And I get it. I don't have to like it, but I get it. Kind of the same thing that happened a year ago when Cody won. Like, hey, they're getting ready to do some big things with Cody. You can't really just have him just lying down because you don't fucking like him.
I thought this was a really good match. I liked that Punk was breaking out some lucha stuff in the match that I haven't seen him do, if ever in a long time. So that was kind of cool. They did have good chemistry, I thought. I didn't know how it would be
Yeah.
because Penta and Phoenix both, they have some amazing matches and then they have some clunky matches.
Yeah, with Penta, well, a
Um,
little bit more so Phoenix than Penta.
Yeah.
They're either like here or way
But
down there.
they did a good job because I mean Punk, like I said, he did some lucha stuff, but Penta, it wasn't like a lucha match. Like they both kind of met in the middle, and I did think they
Right.
had good chemistry, and I like to see this, some type of I like some form of this match again in the future, down the road. But I thought it was a great opener. Cool to see the crowd even kind of split. Penta, you forget how
Yeah.
popular Penta is. Oops.
This is actually the loudest I've heard New Orleans since Raw after Mania.
Yeah. So no complaints, just kind of, good match, and we need a good match. And speaking of good matches, we have the tag team championships on the line: Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon. I was actually shocked at the ending of this match. I really thought they were going to pull the trigger on Red Dragon this week.
I did too. I thought Red Dragon
Yeah.
was going to
I was like, wait, Jurassic Express won? Really? Okay. Yeah, I'm not complaining, but I was like, wow, damn, okay.
Yeah,
but it was a good one though.
it was a good one. The tag division needed that match, in my opinion. Like they need a. I don't think that they needed kind of that shot in the arm that.
I think Jurassic Express needed it more than anything. Because the tag division itself has been putting on some good stuff lately, especially, with I think that I liked the Gun Club versus FTR, like Bucks versus FTR. So like they've been doing some good stuff
it's been the
outside of the
FTR
title match.
show.
Yeah, but I mean, I've
I'm
liked
just
most of the
saying.
stuff the Bucks or the Gun Club have done.
Yeah.
Even I even like their little thing with the Jurassic Express. Like, I think they got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah,
This tag title reign needed that from
yeah.
Jurassic Express because it's been.
If they would have lost it, like I would have thought, this would have been the worst tag team title reign.
I would have still probably go Lucha Bros. Probably is the worst. I'd say the last if they would have lost at this time, then
Lucha Bros had a more memorable win.
That's fair.
Jurassic Express's win wasn't great, and then the reign has been mediocre. At least Lucha Bros had a very big beginning.
Right. I can buy into that. But speaking of FTR, they came out to what looks like challenge for the tag titles and pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah,
I put this on Twitter and I mean it. Give FTR all the tag belts. Do it.
They're one of the hotter acts in the whole company right now. So
absolutely they are.
I think by Double or Nothing they're gonna get the tag titles.
Let's hope.
I don't want to see them beat.
We
Jurassic
have a visitor.
Express.
We have Maybell coming down here to say hello. We have a puppy.
We have who?
Maybell. The pretty Maybell, the puppy, coming down to say hi. Hey, yo, Maybell.
That's a kind of an.
Maybell.
Unless they plan on.
Pretty girl. Hi, yo. Go on.
Do you think that they? I wouldn't have FTR, especially given that they are very popular as good guys right now. It wouldn't make sense to me for them to beat Jurassic Express for the belts, and it's obviously Red Dragon didn't win them. So do you think that they just go ahead and do that?
I'd say maybe have like a. Hello? I think we have lost. We have lost connection.
There you
Hey, okay. We have lost. We had some technical errors there.
Oof.
You back?
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, apologize for all that, but yeah, we had a big fucking glitch there, and I lost almost all connection. So, okay. No. Back to what I was saying. I think they're gonna be a multi-man match. That's about the time we lost the connection. Um, and
It's a multi-man match, yeah.
so that way they can kind of have their cake and eat it too a little bit with FTR. You know, maybe they don't beat the Lucha Bros or the Jurassic Express. Well, maybe the Lucha Bros will be back. Who knows? Maybe
When are
they.
we getting Christian versus Jungle Boy?
I don't know. I mean, they're doing a good job building up. I'd say like if the, I don't think it's overstayed its welcome at all. I don't
No, I
think
don't
it's
either.
you know.
I do wish I loved that Christian. I wasn't on the show last week, but I loved that Christian match, Adam Cole Christian.
Well,
I would like to see, I would like to see them do more with him. I feel that way about the roster
what,
is pretty stacked,
what
so I feel
about
that way about a
at
few people.
what
But
about at some point later on, Christian versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT?
I'd be down for
I'd be
that.
okay for that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'd be
Christian
okay
doesn't
with
necessarily
Christian
have
getting
to
a
like
TNT title run,
become a
honestly.
Yeah.
bad guy, because I
Yeah.
could obviously see there's tension between, but it's like no, just Christian just he doesn't want to be the Shadow anymore, so it's like go after a few more belt runs before you
Christian
call
is
it
the
a
kind of
career.
guy that needs to go bad though. He doesn't need a Wheeler Yuta sort of split. I think. I know
Well, anti-hero, let's put it that way.
that's not going to work for Christian.
No,
I think
You
Christian,
can't.
he's good as a good guy, but he's better as a bad guy.
Yeah.
Point.
I mean,
Christian's whole world title run with
it,
Orton when he was the bad guy was his best. I think that was my favorite Christian era.
yeah. Except for the fact that he should have had like a longer run without that, but that's another debate for another day. So we have an interview with the Blackpool Combat Club, and just want to point out for the record, Wheeler Yuta and Mox, the match of the year candidate. Like we might be hearing us talk about that at the end of the year. That was a damn good one. That is a star-making performance if there ever was one.
Did you prefer that to Yuta Danielson?
Yes. And that's
really?
a shock.
Because I liked Yuta Danielson better.
I saw a star being made with Yuta and Mox. I just saw another match with Yuta and Danielson. I saw a good match, but it wasn't the star-making performance that,
I think that the Moximo was made better by the Danielson one having happened. So I get what you're saying. I felt that way when I saw the Danielson one, but then it was more so against Moxley. I'd agree with that. But yeah, what a like a little string of run there for Wheeler Yuta.
Absolutely.
Who has not really, I haven't really felt one way or another about until recently.
Yeah, like I said, that is a breakout performance if there ever was one. So
who else do you put in that group? Who's next? Is it, or do you not add anybody
there was
else?
Somebody else I was thinking about it, but more on that later. Next
There's
up,
someone I could think of, but unfortunately, it was off the air.
If you're thinking Danhausen, then no. Okay, here's my sidebar rant on Danhausen. Why is he fucking employed? Like, I know everybody loves that Danhausen, but like, what is the?
I think they're waiting for his debut in Detroit.
If WWE hired a guy to do skits where he's going, I'm putting a curse on you. I'm putting a curse on you. People be going, this is stupid. This is dumb. Why is this happening? And I'm not trying to say that Danhausen is bad. I'm not trying to say that it's a bad signing. But, like, seriously, like, I'm supposed to think this is funny, and I'm supposed to think this is good, when if, like, another company did this would be like, LOL, you think that it's good TV, you just wasted a segment where you're when, like Danhausen has done literally nothing since he's come to AEW. Why should I give two
The
fucks about
the
him?
problem is that they've never given you any information about who or why or what
Exactly.
Danhausen is.
It goes back
And
to
so
original. It goes back to
if
a
you're not an
problem.
indie fan of his, then
Mm-hmm.
you just don't know.
It
Like the
go.
people in my house that are not me are very confused by Danhausen.
Yep. That's a problem that AEW still has. Is they're like, all right, the internet people get it, so everybody else
Mm-hmm.
should.
I'm just wondering, is he
If you,
still like not 100% clear to wrestle yet?
that's fine, but
I'm
like,
sure he's not.
I'm sure he's not. And then like, if you're gonna do something like that because he's not cleared to wrestle, that's fine. But like, why is he there? Why should I care?
He could have been explaining who he was this whole time
Yes. Like,
instead of
Probably.
just
like
popping up.
there's no mention of him wanting to buy the blimp and trying to gain human monies and world
Yeah,
domination.
they reference
He
it
only
on
says he
commentary.
only talks
Yeah.
about that on his vlogs.
Okay,
Well, yeah,
not
but that's-
everybody watches his goddamn vlogs. This is my problem. This is a big problem in AEW to me, and it's a problem that's never gonna they're never gonna get called out on because we're on the internet and everybody thinks that everybody just because I spend a
Well,
lot of time on fucking
there's no
internet,
nuanced criticism of AEW. There's just like AEW
Give
bad,
it 10
and
minutes.
then like there's criticism, but there's no nuanced criticism.
it's
I
either
know,
like
but again, just hold that thought.
There's AEW is bad, and then there's like AEW is good, and that's really about it.
but like that's like why should I give a fuck about Danhausen? Like they are seriously just you need to be okay, you gotta watch 12 vlogs, and if you aren't watching it, well then you're not cool enough to watch AEW. You're not cool enough to understand why Danhausen's cool, or why Thunder Rosa did this, or why this is going on, because you're not cool enough to watch BTE. I've said this for a long time. I think AEW is growing as a company, but they're still content being like, well, the internet hipsters think we're neat. And like, there's no need to explain what's going
And
on.
you got them, though.
You should have been. No, there's no need to be explain what's going on. You should be following 10,000 people on fucking Twitter. And I think that's a problem.
I think it's something. Tony Khan, obviously, and everyone in charge, everyone working there, puts a lot of thought into planning out these stories and everything. And I think that in order to get as much stuff on the show as they can, they take that for granted and bypass that piece. Which I don't think that it's something you can bypass. I think it's a necessary part of storytelling.
The people that will come into this chat room or will come in and talk to me on Twitter will go, no, fucking start following people. Get after it, kid. If you want to know why Danhausen's doing that, watch his vlog. If you're not going to watch his vlog, then you don't deserve to know what's going on. And yeah, that was fun in 2019, but
it's fun for Easter eggs. Like,
yes,
if you can like get a little more out of it, if you got more out of the Hangman Kenny feud because you followed New Japan and you followed BTE, then good. But you didn't need that to make it relevant.
Yeah, and I feel like they still think that when this whole thing was beginning, yeah, we had to do it that way. But now, like, you're on cable, you're getting nearly 1 million viewers every week. You're wanting to attract new fans. A new fan shouldn't want to like be given homework. Like, oh hey, be sure to watch 7 vlogs and follow.
And the fact is, they're just
wrestlers
not
on
going
Twitter.
to too.
Yeah.
Even the million viewers they get, like those BTE and Dark and blogs get a fraction of the views. So people saying like you just need to watch it, like a majority of the people that watch right now aren't.
Yeah. I think, and I've really I'm in the AEW fan base clearly, but I don't know. Last few months I've soured on the way this fan base acts. Like we're becoming what we hate, and I don't like it. And we're becoming gatekeeping hipsters, and I really don't fucking like that. And the Danhausen thing to me is like an example of like you should already know. Like, you should already know who he is. You should already know his story, and we're not going to take the time to explain it. We're not going to take the time to explain it because that'll shave, 2 minutes off of an Adam Cole promo we got to have. And we can't be having that. I think AEW is counting to at least one person. Okay, well, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's smart business. I think that you gotta explain who some people are. Okay, 1% in a household knows it. What if nobody in the household knows it? If Nick didn't explain Danhausen, I'd really not like the guy.
Oh, to you, and you are a hardcore fan
Yeah,
of wrestling.
I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, and I've seen Danhausen at shows, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get this. I really don't fucking get this. And Nick explained it to me on this stream, and okay, now I'm left with okay, cool, I get the character now, and then I'm watching him on Dynamite, going where is all these things that Nick told me? They're not there.
He just does curses.
He just does curses, and he's not able to curse this, and funny fun. It's okay, what about the blimp? What about the world domination? What about no swearing? What about very nice, very evil? What about all of these things? No, well, you should have already been reading. You should have already been following this. You fucking, get hip. Okay, and you say that. What?
Like, it took me some time to get into Danhausen, and I only first heard about him because of his injury, and then my first question was, who the hell's Danhausen? And then so you watch his content, he's like, okay, he's entertaining. That's the best way.
But not everybody should have to watch that content to say, okay, he's entertaining.
Yeah.
This is.
It's also just a matter of presentation too, because what they've done with him is just have him do curses. Yeah. Even if they didn't do vignettes explaining who he is or what his motivations are, he's been in enough segments now that he could have gotten more of who he is across. If all I knew from Danhausen was AEW, I would not like him.
Yeah.
I don't like him in AEW right now.
No, because he just shows up and puts a curse on, and
it was kind of funny the first 2 times.
Yeah, and then now it's just it's getting old.
Yeah, the repeat a joke until it's not funny that it becomes funny again doesn't really work in wrestling. It might work in Family Guy,
but
it doesn't work in week to week wrestling.
Dude, come on, we got standards here.
We're probably gonna get canceled for not watching 7,000 blogs right now. But something that I do think that AEW is doing quite well, and I really fucking love, is MJF and Shawn Dean. I am loving the fact that Shawn Dean, just gets these cheap wins over MJF every time. Gets a DQ with Punk. Wardlow causes the a count out. But I'm loving Wardlow just showing up every week.
How, popular is this making him? He's
huge.
You can feel the palpability of the tension.
Wardlow was Lonely Wardlow at All Out Fan Fest in 2021. He's gonna have a line out the fucking door in 2022 at All Out. I can promise you that, because dude's future world champion.
This whole thing, which they handled this this is the things I like about AEW, like you just said. This I have your contract, but I'm gonna let you your contract run out, is so perfect, because he's not overexposing himself wrestling. He's not touched MJF yet, but him coming in and continuing to disrupt is just building up so much anticipation, making him look like such a badass. It's it's been perfectly executed.
Dare I say, it's like the summer and the fall of 97, when Owen broke Austin's neck, and they were like, well, you can't get in the ring, Austin, you're hurt, stay away, and it's different circumstances, but it's Austin would come in, he'd give Sergeant Slaughter the stunner, and he'd give Jim Ross the stunner, and it all built up to when he finally gave Vince the stunner for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of not exactly the same. It's not an apples to apples comparison, but it's, you know, hey, you're being told you can't be here for whatever reason. Well, he's showing up, and people are excited and looking forward to what creative way, you know, people are looking forward to what kind of way is Stone Cold Steve Austin going to show up on Raw this week. People are wondering, like, how are they going to work Wardlow in this week?
Mm-hmm. And are so excited yet again for him to someone to get their hands on MJF.
MJF, yep.
Because the same thing they did with Punk. It's just that it's a tried and true like wrestling philosophy.
Yeah.
You keep the good guy and the bad guy. You don't let them touch, and then when they finally do, you pay money to see it. Like, don't fix it if it ain't broken.
This is what's frustrating about AEW is like they do this thing so well. It would take them like no time at all to explain who Danhausen is. One vignette on Rampage could get like in 30 seconds, 1 minute at the most. And we know Danhausen. So
they have been doing more vignettes and promo packages lately. I will give them that. There was a month ago, they had a Dynamite that had like several. It might have been the Go Home before Revolution, I don't remember, but there was a Dynamite where they had quite a few like promo packages and vignettes, and I was like, okay. And they are sparsing them in more frequently now. So I'll give them the like props for.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Nick?
No, my sheet keeps hitting the mute.
Oh. You'll give them props for what, Nick?
For doing more vignettes and interviews and promo packages. They used to not do any at all, and they are doing more now.
This is the one thing I said after WrestleMania. I really like, if there's one thing that AEW could learn from WWE, it's how to do like a hype package. Because WWE made WrestleMania, like the build up to WrestleMania, look like must-see TV on an average at best wrestling show. So imagine what AEW could do with those sort of packages with a good wrestling show.
Yeah, because WWE like, they've basically like outgrown the need for for weekly television. They could just shoot those promo packages and run pay-per-views once a month, and I would probably enjoy it much more.
Yeah, that is. It's but yeah, love what
because I gave WWE a shot again after Mania, and that Raw really business as usual.
Yep, exactly. I give it a shot. I watched the Cody Rhodes stuff. That's enough to kind of get me okay. But I said no, I'm not falling into that post Mania trap of well maybe it'll be good, and no, it's not. All right, we have trios match. JAS, Jericho, Hager, and Garcia versus Kingston and Proud and Powerful. I did like how they explain why why Jericho still comes out to Judas, seeing as how he has to get paid royalties. So that's why he doesn't care if the fans still saying it. Like, that's clever. That's cool. Like,
I'm glad they addressed that.
Yeah. And match itself was good, not great, but whatever. MJF is interviewed and pretty much saying like now Wardlow has to appear and wrestle the Butcher. I mean, I guess it's an opponent that Wardlow can get through pretty quickly, and it wouldn't bother me.
Guys, I unfortunately have to ditch out. My dad is calling me, so hopefully I'll get back onto the chat and we can talk about what the hell happened at the end of the match.
Right back. Now we get to something, and this is going to piss a lot of people off. Marina Shafir versus Sky Blue. I really had high hopes for this match, and it was not good. Like, it was really not good.
Why did you have super high hopes for it?
because I've seen what Marina Shafir can do. Like, she was actually going to be like, hey, like, Marina would have been like a good choice for me for like a female representative of the Blackpool Combat Club. But then this match was just bad. Like, it objectively was a bad match. I'm sorry, it was.
It was very clunky.
Yeah, like it like I. A lot of people took a lot of heat for saying it was bad, like on Twitter, but like no, it really wasn't that good. You know, there's a lot of people that make excuses for it, and like that's fine if you want to see it that way. I don't. I see it as like a really bad fucking match, and I've seen better from Sky Blue. I've seen better from Marina Shafir. I'm disappointed in it. This was not good. This was some Edge AJ Styles at WrestleMania where it's just like this is really not that great. Like I wanted it to be great, but it wasn't.
The crowd was very, very dead for it as well.
Yeah, maybe Nakamura and AJ at WrestleMania is a better analogy. Where it's just like, that really wasn't very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I mean, the match did its job, but Marina Shafir, and I've like enjoyed some of her stuff in the past as well. I think that she just seemed like she really didn't know what to do. Like it was very clunky.
I'm not gonna go that far. I'm just gonna say like something was just off.
I'm not saying she doesn't know what to do. I know she does because I've seen her have do good stuff. But I'm saying that's what it looked like.
And
like it just looked like she was just like, what the heck?
She's like your favorite wrestler of all time's wife.
Yeah.
I think Marina's so used to martial arts when she does throws, they're a bit too. Maybe, like I don't know. Like I was like when I heard like Marina Shafir's coming in, like the first thing that popped in my head is you could do an intergender 8-person tag match with Best Friends in Orange versus and Statlander versus Blackpool Combat Club with Marina being the female representative, and then I'm just like, I don't know if I want that now because like this was just bad. Like I mean, it was just one match. I'm not trying to like say like but it just, you know, when you play. When a person plays in their first game for a team, you know, they give up a home run when they're pitching, or they throw an interception, or you know they airball a free throw. You're not as excited about the potential of them being on your team as much, and that's kind of how I felt after this one. Unfortunately, she's got enough talent that she can redeem herself, but oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if, yeah. I mean, I have not much else to say about it. I don't have a lot of good to say, so.
I know I said I didn't like it on Twitter, and I got a, like, well, actually, it was better because it looked like a real fight where things get messed up. No, Marie, I'd rather it be Jamie Hayter, but most likely be Serena Deeb since Hirsch is... maybe. Maybe. Yeah, Serena actually probably would be better. I was just thinking more like the more combat. But yeah, Serena'd be great.
Great for what?
Blackpool Combat Club.
Mm. Yeah, I like her as her own thing, though.
Yeah, and the only difference I would say with that could create a problem is they're kind of positioning Blackpool Combat Club as kind of like, not like white hat wearing good guys, but a little bit more on the good side of things. And Serena is definitely a villainous through and through. So I think that'd be like my one issue. Next match we have Swerve Strickland and Limitless Keith Lee versus Team Taz of Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. I really like this match.
Me too. I thought this was awesome.
This was awesome. This is probably the best Powerhouse Hobbs match ever. The only thing I'm going to say is, like, I was really shocked to see Keith Lee lose. Like, I know not everybody comes in with an undefeated streak. The one thing I did say after Keith Lee lost this match is you're going to have some people with some ammunition for an opinion now. And I still don't think their opinion is right, but they have ammunition for their opinion of like, oh, you bring in Keith Lee to just lose in mid-card tag matches? Which I get what they're saying. I feel like there's more to it than that, because mid-card tag matches in AEW have more... seem like they carry more weight than the throwaway matches in WWE, but...
Well, here's the thing. You have 4 stars in this match, for one thing. There's no reason why they couldn't, not necessarily like main event, be a world champion, but you have 4 like big, have a lot of potential. And this has been like a feud for like about a month now. It's not really a random tag team match. Like, they've been building this on Rampage since Keith Lee came in.
I'm not saying that it's completely random, but it's also just kind of like not.
And Team Taz needs to win more.
The right person won, because Team Taz has lost every big match they've ever been in. Like, they've lost to Sting, they've lost to Punk, they've lost to, you name it, they've lost. Even the fighters in the UFC that are kind of considered gatekeeping fighters, they get wins every now and again, to kind of.
Otherwise, it doesn't matter if you get beat.
Yeah. So, like, they needed it, but again, just kind of thinking like the way people on Twitter like to think, unfortunately. People are going to have some ammunition, and it's wrong, but it's still ammunition. It's still going to fire off, if that makes sense.
It honestly didn't bother me, because Keith Lee didn't win the ladder match in his first, so he lost his first match, or his first like pay-per-view match. And I think that what you said when you very first started talking about this, about not everyone needs an undefeated streak, I would expand that to the point where like very few people need an undefeated streak, because we've seen that problem over the years with wrestling of bringing in the new bad guy, and then they go undefeated, and then they lose, and then they're irrelevant. And I think undefeated streaks like create that in it. It becomes about that, and then once they lose, like, big deal. Like, you're done for. So
the thing I will say, and this is something I haven't lost faith, but like they've got to do this. They really need to. Okay, you've got the losses out of the way with Keith Lee. You've brought you now can go and do different things with Keith Lee because you don't have to worry about that undefeated streak. Same thing with Swerve. Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, Team Taz, they have something they can build off of now.
All 4 of those guys should go a long time before they lose again.
Like you've got to really start turning some corners on Keith Lee right now. You've got to give him more promo time. You've got to let Scorpio be done with Sammy Guevara here after this and get that TNT title on Keith Lee. You got
to do something with them for sure.
Like this is the point now where okay, I understand what they were doing with Keith Lee. I understand, not everybody's going to get a belt, or not everybody needs an undefeated streak, or not everybody's going to go to the main event right away. I understand that they weren't really doing anything wrong, per se, with how they've used Keith Lee since he's come into the company. What I am going to say is this is his Miro getting away from Kip Sabian moment. You've got to turn the corner, and you've got to do it now. Or else you're going to let some big potential slip through your fingertips.
I agree with that. I would have him go on a tear now. But it was a great match. Swerve is awesome, which I knew that, but I didn't get to. He was good in NXT, but he still didn't get to quite wrestle like he did in Evolve.
Right.
Like, he's wrestling like how he wants to, and it's just a different. I forgot like how like crazy smooth he is. And I like this AEW Keith Lee too, where he does the leapfrogs and the occasional stuff, but he just wrestles like a hoss. Like, which is, I remember that was like a complaint that people had in WWE, that like you always heard the words like Vince wants him to just wrestle like a big guy, but I don't know. Maybe he was right because this is working.
He wrestle like a big guy and then like pull out that big move, like whoa, you know what I mean?
This is what he does. He does two, like, oh my gosh, he can do that every match, but he's not doing like the Dijakovic match every week.
Right.
He's wrestling more like Vader than like Keith Lee on the Indies.
I mean, I still love the Dijakovic match, but it's less
I do
special when it's
too.
every week.
Yeah, exactly. So like he can do that match, on a pay-per-view, but like week to week for him to just wrestle like an athletic big guy, like a Vader or like a Bam Bam or something, like that works.
I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with that opinion, but I mean, it's not an invalid one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to be agreed with.
I still enjoyed the match between the two. It's just Taz getting away. Well, of course he is, but I could really get behind a good tag team between Swerve and Lee. So we'll see how this will go.
I don't want that.
No,
I really don't want
either.
that.
They do have good chemistry.
Yeah,
but
like it's not like awful.
If they were to do like a tag league like New Japan does, they would be a cool like 2-month tag team or whatever. But yeah. They both have too much potential as singles.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like again, kind of going back to the WWE thing. It's like Keith Lee is superstar, and Swerve too. But like Keith Lee's more of the finished product already. You could start pushing Keith Lee to the world title now, and by Double or Nothing 2023, it'd be believable if with the right use. Swerve maybe a little bit more time. That's not a knock on him. He's amazing. So to me, like putting them in just a tag team feels very, very WWE-esque, where it's like, we ain't got nothing for you on singles, so here, just go be a thrown together tag team for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then we'll split you up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't want AEW to fall into that trap. I really don't.
They don't treat tag teams like that either, for the most part. Yeah. They've had a couple like Hangman and Kenny were like not a tag team that won the championships.
Even then it made like sense. It made a little bit more.
Yeah, they were stablemates still
because they were at least still in a stable together.
Yeah. But I don't think we'll see many more two guys who aren't actually a tag team winning the championship in AEW for like the next 5 years. I don't know if we'll see another team like that, given like how much respect they have for tag team wrestling and tag teams.
Yeah, which is another reason why I don't think that needs to be something they do with Keith Lee. But so main event time: ROH Television Championship, Samoa Joe versus Minoru Suzuki. This is a modern day. This is this decade's version of Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi. And I also want to remind everybody after this match, Minoru Suzuki was born in 1968, which means he's in his mid-50s. He is going to be
older than my mom.
He is going to be 54 years old. And he put on, would it be too easy to say this match slaps?
Yes.
Oh god, it was like slappy, slap, slap, slappy.
It was a great match.
Not a lot of diversity of offense in this match.
No, but like you also didn't need there to be diversity of offense in this match.
No. That in and of itself makes it like the card more diverse.
Yeah.
I will say this. I saw this before I watched Dynamite today. I work on Wednesday nights, so I don't get to watch it live anymore. But I saw this on Twitter before. It was like the only spoiler-ish thing I saw. But basically saying that the match, like the opening match and the main event match, opened with the same spot, which is like that in retrospect, like I knew that going into it, but I noticed that like immediately. I was like, oh, that's how Penta and Punk opened the match, and that's just another little thing, like pay attention to details type of thing that is kind of annoying because it took to me it took away a little bit from the main event opening that way, and it outdid what Punk and Penta did for sure.
Oh yeah,
That's a little
definitely.
nitpick.
Apologies, by the way, if you're hearing a train in the background. I live near trains.
Um, but yeah, good match, great match. Minoru Suzuki falls to 0-4 in AEW, so he's like reverse Goldberg.
Oh, I dare you to say that in front of him.
I'm with the way how AEW's booked him. He's like reverse Goldberg. It's like, here we're gonna bring you
Oh,
in,
man.
but you're gonna lose.
Frankly, like, it was a great match. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, this exactly was like a great, prelude dream match. Because I desperately hope we see Samoa and Suzuki fight again.
Though
But
this wasn't
I was
on
shocked
par
at
with Joe's.
the like Samoa winning. Like,
It wasn't
wait,
as good as
really?
Kobashi, but it's like
Really?
it's like the modern day version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so this wasn't quite on par with Joe's like world title run or like Ring of Honor Prime era, but the fact that like Joe was not allowed to wrestle and was like on commentary, and I don't know what the reason for that was, but that he just went out and his first match back was really good, and then he did this, which is not that far off from like Prime era Samoa Joe. It's just crazy to me that he's like not lost the step that a lot of people thought he had.
Again, I just thought like this is extremely way too soon to put a title on him. It's like I know it's like the ROH TV title, but it's like, okay, that happens.
I don't really consider these titles like canon in AEW. Like it's not a title
Still,
win in
like,
my eyes.
It's still prestigious on the Ring of Honor side of things.
It was basically this was done, and this is something that Ring of Honor did all the time. They would have a Japanese guy come in, and they would hold the belt for like a week.
As long as they were in America.
Yeah, as long as they're in America, and then they lose it back. Like they had Dragon Gate tag teams come in and win the tag titles, and then
he was only holding the title for like 12 days,
and then immediately lose it. They won it. Ring of Honor got to say now that the Ring of Honor television title and in a Ring of Honor belt was the first American title that Minoru Suzuki got to hold. And nobody's going to be able to take that away from him now. It was literally just Minoru Suzuki was a transitional champion. And
it still would have been nice if he like held on to it just for a while and then defend it, and then he lose it to like a next Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Well, we don't know how long Suzuki's going to be in America.
Yeah. True. But sure, then we get fucking Dalton Castle for Battle of the Belts. Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with Dalton Castle?
Dalton Castle.
I think you misread the room here, bud.
Yeah, what's wrong with Dalton Castle?
People.
Okay, explain yourself. Explain yourself.
Although I actually, you know what? I do apologize. I mixed up for a very worse person, Matt Taven. Sorry, I completely mixed up.
Yeah, okay, but
I don't know why. I apologize, but
I'd say Dalton Castle's actually pretty cool. I don't get what.
Wait, didn't he get Did he get like squashed so badly at Supercard? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was part of the reason why that show, like outside of one match, was kind of like garbage.
Yeah.
I thought Dalton Castle won.
But just man.
No, I thought Dalton Castle won at Supercard.
No, he lost in
he lost in like 6 seconds.
No, like
wait, are you talking about the Madison Square Garden one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the one at WrestleMania this last weekend.
No. We're talking about.
Oh, okay. No, because Dalton Castle won at the one like a week ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he did. That was fine.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, no, that didn't happen.
No, Rouge hit him with like 4 clotheslines.
I was mixing up for another douchebag.
Yeah.
Also, fuck the Kingdom.
Yeah, the old Kingdom was kind of cool.
Yeah, either way, fuck the kingdom.
Um,
FTK.
but then after the match, we have I get they got to continue the storyline with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt against Joe. I don't mind the fact that they're doing. I don't mind the fact they're doing that storyline. Everything in that makes sense. It's giving Jay Lethal something to do. It's fine, but you probably shouldn't hype up an overrun. You probably shouldn't make it seem like something big's gonna happen, and then debut somebody that nobody knows who the fuck it is.
Oh my god, this is when I'm like, who? I'm literally like the British crowd. Who are ya? Who are ya? Like, literally, who the fuck was that? I was.
I get
I
that
went on Twitter
they're
saying
wanting
that
to
I was
expand
half.
into the Indian
Yeah, go
market.
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
get what they're doing.
Yeah.
I get the logic of all of it. Before anybody comes at me with all this fucking well, AEW's trying. I get the logic. The logic's fine. It still just wasn't executed well. If we want to go completely
At
on the
all.
logic, then I get everything WWE does, and we just shouldn't talk wrestling ever again. I get it. It was a business
If we
decision
had like
and
a
a time, but it could
promo
have been
about
executed
this
better.
guy, if we had a promo about this guy weeks ago, sure, maybe there actually would have been a great reaction. But the crowd reaction was literally deader than Monday Night Raw, like because nobody knew who this guy was. I went on Twitter saying I was actually half actually expecting the House of Black because let's see, House of Black, New Orleans, Voodoo. That's kind of the best
the crowd is
combination you
pretty
have.
hot for Monday Night Raw. You might want to change your analogy.
Either way, but still, it's like I would have honestly loved a rivalry between Samoa Joe and Aleister Black. Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on. That is money right there.
I am okay.
But still, again, it's like, this is New Orleans. The theme could have fit perfectly here.
You got to build up to Aleister Black and Joe. That's a dream match that you don't. You don't.
Again, that could have been the build up right there. Lethal would have been the distraction.
That doesn't make any
I'm
sense.
not joining the House of Black. I'm just aligning with him.
That makes that is too convoluted, and that makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
Why don't you just save Aleister Black for later on? You could Aleister Black and Samoa Joe could be an all-out match or a
and also why the fuck was the House of Black
match?
not a Dynamite? Why the fuck was the House of Black?
Because the roster's too fucking bloated.
They did a promo. He had a pretty long promo, like a pack, like a.
I must have missed
a vignette.
Some of the part of the show actually had to fix some things here.
Yeah.
I had no problem with the concept of this. Them bringing in a big heater guy. It's just the fact that they turned the lights off before he came in. Really, that's all it is. Like, if they would have just been
like it was a big deal, and it ended up being somebody who's absolutely not a big deal.
It's the Butcher and the Blade, or the Dark Order. Like, they've done this before.
Yeah, actually, Butcher and the Blade had a decent.
No, they did not.
No, that was terrible.
That was maybe their worst debut ever.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's literally like the lights
it's
go out.
It's hard to decipher today and pre-pandemic era.
There's three guys attacking Cody, and you just have that's the Butcher, and that's the Blade.
The Blade and the Bunny.
And then there's Allie in a bunny costume going, and that's the Bunny. And I'm like, what? What happened?
Or even, she rebounded from it, but Jade is another pretty bad debut. She was she just came out for no reason and was like, I'm friends with Shaq and he doesn't like you. And I was like, okay.
I will say, yeah, she's rebounded so far. That was bad because Cody had to help her. You could see him say this, say this, say this. But she's leaps and bounds. Jade is on.
Oh, Jade's awesome now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, But still, this was unfortunately the reaction was this was WWE level of what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, I don't think WWE even would. This is an AEW problem. This is really not. WWE wouldn't do this.
This is possibly the third time that I end watching Dynamite feeling what the hell was I watching? That was a really, really bad ending. I don't know how to. I was not invested with that at all. the match itself was just amazing. Like it may be a match of the year candidate on my end, so we'll see. As again, it's like this was a dream match here. It's just then afterwards, it's like what happened
This
when
goes back to what we were talking about
seriously.
before. This is exactly what we were talking about as far as Danhausen. The difference is this guy does not have a blog or an indie following. But if
Yeah.
this happened with all of these indie guys or these like tertiary things you need to watch, the feeling that you felt when this guy came in, you're like, who the fuck is this? Is how 90% of the audience feels when
And
Danhausen comes on the
and also,
screen.
by the way, and before I had to leave briefly, I was going to mention I'm thinking AEW might be building up to Danhausen. Maybe finally being cleared to fight, and he'll have his debut in Detroit, which he is from the Motor City. So we'll see if it happens, or maybe he'll get a match sooner. Maybe at Double or Nothing. Who knows?
I don't know if
But
I care at this point.
well, here's the thing. Orange Cassidy, he didn't have a first legit fight until he fought Pac. And that was out of the ballpark a great match. So maybe Danhausen, he might get a fight with somebody, and that
But just
actually might
explain
be
who
like
the
a
fuck he is. Why is he
final.
putting curses on people?
I think
What
Orange
is his?
Cassidy's character was easier to explain. He's
Yeah.
lazy.
By literally not doing anything.
Yeah, Danhausen is one of those I didn't get it, and I've seen the guy wrestle before.
Yeah, we've seen him wrestle like at Glory Pro.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Did he
well,
do the tequila thing, by the way, or
yeah.
Tequila
like-
thing.
he plays the song Tequila, and suddenly it possesses his opponent to start
Oh.
No,
dancing
he did
tequila.
not do
I don't know.
that.
I
He
saw
did not do that. He used teeth.
He did pour teeth in Dan the Dad's mouth.
Okay, that's creepy.
But yeah, I think that this is
Well,
salvageable, but it's not.
I do want to take
was
this
not
opportunity
good.
to say everybody should look up Dan the Dad. The best way to describe him is he's not mad, he's just disappointed. Like that is how you explain that character. He's not mad, he's just disappointed.
I haven't seen him fought. Has he ever fought at Border City Wrestling? Because I
No.
feel like the name's okay. Then never mind.
He did have an AEW dark match a little while back.
Okay.
But we didn't get all the Dan the Dad stuff that we like. He did not come out with he did do the point, but he didn't have his coffee cup. He didn't ground anybody. He literally he'll ground
Is
his
he
opponent.
worse than Butters? Is he worse than Butters' dad when he's like, "You're grounded"?
He'll ground his opponent and then say it. Like ground them in the match and then he'll ground them. That's when he says it. He's your dad's favorite wrestler. The fact that we all don't love Dan the Dad is making me sad inside.
Not your dad's friend.
Yeah.
That's a different wrestler.
Yeah.
That's Silas Young.
That's Silas Young. Nick's first exposure to Silas Young was seeing him in the ring and him looking at me and our friend JC and going, "So who's the guy that looks like he'd be friends with my dad?"
Funny, AIW, they had a similar guy he was in a 4-way match, and his name is Uncle Chase. I don't know if any of you guys know who he is.
No, that is. But this is Dan
But
the
he
Dad.
literally walks in, and he's like, he looks like a very, he's like very elderly, and he like can barely move. And
Oh no, this guy's not
he's like-
elderly. He's just a dad. He wears New Balance shoes and he has a ball cap on. He drinks his coffee.
Mustache.
and he makes
No
very
mustache.
bad dad jokes.
And he's not
I
mad.
bet I
He's
can-
just disappointed. But yeah. So
Was he Dan the Dad on Dark? Or was he Danny Adams or whatever?
he had the glasses on, so
Okay.
I'll have to relook. Like it'd have to be Dan the Dad, or it'd be Dan something. Yeah. But yeah, like this is when Dan the Dad makes his full AEW debut, you're gonna have to explain like what this guy is. Because Because like
Except not really, because it's in his name.
yeah, as over as Dan, as over. I will say this in defense of everything we've been saying. Like Danhausen is still over, but like, imagine how much more over he'd be if everybody understood it.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Just like imagine how much more over this guy would have been if we knew who he was.
Yeah.
Or at least not anti-over.
Yeah.
Like
The not so great Kali.
not under. Like he's very under right now. He got under with this audience.
Now with the audience in India, yeah, he's very over because apparently he is a big deal.
Yeah, and you could have like there's nobody that size in AEW even close, even their big guys. So like if he would have just been hanging out with Jay Lethal earlier in the day and like sitting by them in the audience and then he does the flipping off thing and then that guy gets in the ring, you don't turn the lights out, I would have had no problem with this.
Yeah.
I would have been like, that's kind of a weird choice to close Dynamite, but like, sure, you've never had a guy 7 foot tall on your show. Like, I get it. It's a big deal. Like, I wouldn't have been mad. But said I was kind of like, oh, that's a bad look.
Very bad.
Especially when you debut everybody by turning the lights out.
Yeah, this is, I'm going to say as far as AEW debuts, like, maybe would it be unfair to say they're kind of like 50-50 on like how good they do their debuts?
Yeah.
Like they'll have like CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, and that's just like, you know, knocking it out of the fucking park. And then they'll have the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny, and it's Excalibur going, wow, it's the Butcher and the Blade.
In fact, you know what? AEW has had some great debuts, but overall, I would say they're not good at it. Because, like, Christian Cage, Ethan Page, like, anyone that's ever debuted in a Battle Royal or a ladder match, even, like, Keith Lee coming in was real, like, mid. Like, he just wrestled. Like, there's been maybe a couple great ones, and then a couple terrible ones, and the rest have just been, like, very mediocre.
Christian was bad because they overhyped him. Like
because everyone thought it was Punk.
Everyone thought it was Punk or John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
There were people thinking it was John Cena. You had the owner of the company going, "Oh, it might be John Cena. But pay-per-view, you'd find out." And then it's fucking Christian, and like, and he's great, and he's been booked perfectly. But like, that is like, you know, that is how you make. They found a way to make the debut of Christian the womp womp noise.
I know.
And Christian should not be the womp womp noise.
Oh, I forgot about another all-time terrible debut, which may be my least favorite, is Andrade.
Yes. Hey, we have Mark Henry. Oh, I guess that's kind of neat. And Andrade's here, too. It's like, okay.
But then, like, also, like, the buffer of Vicky Guerrero, and then, like, not understanding what she said. Like, that's the... Yeah, I think I would go as far as to say AEW's not good at debuts. Like, they're bad at them. Outside of a couple.
Yeah. We're going to get a lot of hate from all the people that go like, don't you know that they do everything the best and everything always?
Well, yeah. I mean, like... I'm really thinking about some decent ones. Jeff Hardy's was pretty good.
Except the fact that he danced first.
Yeah, but at least that became a meme.
But
Stings was good.
Stings was pretty well done.
NASCAR does everything awesome too, except for stage racing. But with getting a calendar expansion that they're doing, they're finally doing races in Road America, National Super Speedway, and this year they're going to St. Louis. But there's still things that NASCAR does wrong, and I will tell them that.
Yeah, but
AEW, I can do the same thing.
We can maybe in this room, when we venture into the always forward thinking and, best behavior and nobody just, nobody jumping to conclusions and just trying to get some clout world of Twitter or Reddit. we might be in for a different story.
This is why I don't use Reddit at all.
Reddit's a little bit better off than Twitter, I will say that much.
I've been using Twitter since 2009. I'm going to stick with my tweets. And will still gladly say fuck you, Elon Musk.
I don't care about any of that. I don't
Yeah.
don't care.
All good.
If I am forced to not have Twitter anymore, like, I will be okay.
Yeah, I didn't have Twitter. Well, I didn't use Twitter for like 4 years. I got back on it at the end of last year, and it's mostly bad. Like, it's mostly a net negative to my life.
I will say this part about Twitter, like, when I get the couple good people to, like, get an exchange with, it's just like, that's nice. I feel good. But it's like, you know, it's like finding the needle in the haystack. Like, oh, hey, here's a criticism of AEW. Why do you hate the AEW? Oh, hey, I enjoyed WrestleMania. Do you not watch good wrestling? Like, oh, hey, I enjoyed it. It's kind of like now anytime I have a criticism of AEW on Twitter, it's like back when, and like before AEW was a thing, when I'd go like, wow, NXT was very good. Like, did you not watch New Japan? That's kind of what Twitter. Now I was saying that, like, oh, hey, I enjoyed this segment. Like, are you not aware of this?
Speaking of NXT, since we're pretty much wrapped up with Dynamite, and I didn't get to say it last week, let me just say I'm very mad that Volter lost in a 1 week build match for the world title, and then they moved on to a new thing on NXT.
Don't you mean the amazing Gunther?
Boy, I said what I said.
Okay. Don't you boy me.
So yes, let's just
don't let him use that. Don't use that name in front of him. It's very trickery.
Like Voldemort. I don't know
Pretty
if you guys
much.
are Potter fans.
Voldemort.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. All right,
Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Love it.
Oh, we're off the rails here, but thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, please give a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of pro wrestling, but from the worlds of anime, gaming, comic books, all things geek culture. Check out this week's edition of the Geeking Out Podcast, Part 2 with artist David Clark. We talk about somebody who's very nice and very evil and very much enjoys his art. So, and probably have a better introduction of explaining who that guy is than AEW has thus far. And what's his beef with Hook? That's something else that hasn't been explained. Like, why is he picking on Hook?
He just curses whoever, and it doesn't work on Hook.
Hook is impowerable. Also, by the way, forgot to mention Hook on AEW Dynamite next week. I am going to love it so hardcore. I love it.
Who's he wrestling?
Yes. Hook is going. They didn't say. Maybe this might be a Hook versus Danhausen. Who knows?
It's not. That much I know. And also, this weekend I will be at Squared Circle Expo. So, come by, say hi, come by and go, oh, hey, why are you wearing that AEW hoodie? You must not like AEW since you didn't say it was they do everything great. You suck. And I'm going to be like, okay, move along.
Well, it was nice to meet you too, Bully Ray.
Yeah. No, Bully Ray'd be like, you're right, AEW's the worst. You only stupid mocks like the AEW and no one cares about the AEWs. You should be watching WWE, and when they do things you don't like, you should be happy because it's heat. And if you don't like it, you should just shut up and be a mock. And you should also just be happy because you got to look at it like a booker.
God forbid Bully Ray and Vince Russo have a show together.
Yeah. It'd be like the Family Guy sketch where it's like, Ray Romano, Harold Ramis, Al Michaels, and Kermit the Frog.
I know exactly. And then Brian's like, where's the remote?
Yeah. So, and
good impressions, though. Oh, my God. I'm going to watch that skit after we're done. I need that laugh.
But, yeah, Easy, you got social media?
Yes, I got the social media. I'm at the Twitter at ERIKZ, not ZZARIAS. Okay, you find that Eric starts, whatever. But anyway, so, and if you also love the world of pro wrestling, I will be attending my second Absolute Intense Wrestling show in Cleveland. It will be at the Odeon Concert Club in downtown Cleveland. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be some great matches. We have a six-way between Riley Rose, Chase Oliver, Johnny Patch, Uncle Chase, Wes Barkley, and Mikey Montgomery. If you know who any of those people are, awesome. I don't. And there's also a women's match between
You will learn.
Jocelyn.
You'll be learning.
Exactly. There'll be a women's match between Jocelyn Navarro and Shaza McKenzie. Again, I'm going to be learning these people along the way. There's an AIW tag team match between PME and members only. There's going to be an absolute intense title match between the champion Matt Cardona, who is currently 2022's belt collector, versus Josh Prohibition. And Matt Cardona
Josh
is
Prohibition.
not, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Matt is not coming alone. He is bringing his lovely wife and Canada's own Chelsea Green to accompany him. But that is not all, because the biggest attraction will be Minoru Suzuki, because he was the poster boy for this. And by the way, tickets for this event went out fast. Like, I got front row, one of the last two front row tickets. Minoru Suzuki taking on Isaiah Bruner. I'm not sure if they said that was an absolute intense match or if that's just gonna be a regular match. But the Matt Cardona Josh Prohibition match is going to be likely the main event, and it'll be nuts. So I'm not sure actually if they were going to be on Fight TV. If you can watch the match live, the pay-per-view live. But either way, if you're in the Cleveland area, come out to the show, and also come to the Christmas show there. And then lastly, if you're in the Indianapolis area on Memorial Day weekend, I will be at the Indy 500 with my dad and some buddies as well. And we might be watching Double or Nothing somewhere. My dad is not really the wrestling type. And then lastly, for the very first time in 5 years, I will be in Detroit for June 29th, AEW Dynamite and Rampage tapings, which I'm going to be loving it so much. I seriously miss the Motor City and Michigan itself, even though it could be worse. At least Cleveland is not Detroit. And that's pretty much it on my end. So again, if you're in Cleveland area, come out to some local indie wrestling.
And Nick, what's your social media?
Nope.
I thought you were on Bebo or something.
Oh, I deleted all my Bebos. I had several.
What about the Brian Danielson's Daniels and Brian's?
We're reformatting that.
Oh.
Okay. Well.
And as our sponsor Looker, I haven't been able to find anything. So sorry, we still can't find any bags of money left. Plus, Danhausen won't return my calls.
Well, on that note, for Nick and Easy, I am the Athletic Geek. We're just Marks, and we're out. Have a good one.
Good night.
Alrighty.